Okay, this is Orlando Wilson, and what I want to talk about in this video is I want to tell a little story about a phone call that I got in the early hours of this morning from an old client of mine in the US that got a phone call last evening from somebody to his personal phone number, threatening to abuse his son, attack his son, beat up his son, etc., etc. Client is an old client of mine, so he's a little bit wise. Very respectable, very professional, and very successful. His son is going away to university. We've dealt with a few things with him in the past, and he's had, how can we put it, substance abuse issues in the past. The strange thing about this is when I called up the number that had called the client, nobody picked up. I called it a couple of times, nobody picked up, which is strange. Because generally, if somebody's trying to extort somebody, they're going to use a burner phone. And they're going to pick up whichever number calls that burner phone because they want a payment. They want to arrange a payment. And payments were asked. The people that called up the client mentioned drugs and debts and everything else. So they were referring to that the son owed money for certain things. So as everything, the safety of people is priority. The client called up his son, which seemed a little bit blasé about things, saying he's just been threatened and his father just got the phone call. The police should have been called if there was a threat, if there was an active threat, but the father didn't want to call the police to the son's apartment because he wouldn't be sure what was in the apartment. Now, I had a conversation with the client, and I said to him, it wouldn't surprise me if the son was involved in this in some way, trying to squeeze some money out of daddy by getting one of his friends to phone up his daddy and say, if you don't pay me X amount of money, etc., etc., then we're going to hit your son, whatever. This type of thing happens. So it wouldn't surprise me if the son was involved. And I'm sure the son will see this video because I'm sure the father will forward it to him. So this is where, before people panic about things, and this is what a lot of parents do, this is what a lot of people do when they receive threats. They immediately go into a state of panic and all hell breaks loose, etc. You need to look logically at things and try to work out what the threat actually is. You know what? If the son is a threat, then he needs to go to the police need to be informed, etc., etc. He didn't want the police informed. The father's in Florida, the son's in California, I'm in a different continent, so all I can do is advise from a distance, all the father can do is advise from a distance. So a lot of this is down to the son. But I've come across many cases where people have staged kidnappings, hoax threats, etc., etc., hoax extortion, just to try and get money out of family members, etc. So whenever you're dealing from a close protection, private investigation perspective, whenever you're dealing with this type of thing, you always have to confirm, first of all, that there is an actual problem. And it's not just people are seeing ghosts, people are seeing things that don't exist, or believe things that don't exist, or making up problems. Or, as I said, people are literally making up problems to try to squeeze money out of loved ones. Anyway, I hope this story makes sense to a few of you, because I think this happens. This isn't the first call I've got about this type of thing, or first call where I've dealt with something like this. It's turned out to be what I said it was. So this isn't uncommon. I think it happens a lot more than a lot of people want to admit. So, as I said, I hope this makes sense, and I can give some of you some guidance. In the meantime, if you are being threatened, if you are having problems, feel free to reach out to us. We do online consulting. Even though I'm traveling a lot these days with modern technology, we're open to Zoom consultations via messengers, etc. So if you have a problem wherever you are, you can connect with us, and we're happy to do online consultations for a wide variety of security issues or planning and preparation issues, etc. Risk management issues. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions for a consultation. In the meantime, I have an array of articles online that cover close protection, personal security, kidnap and ransom investigations, etc., and an array of books on Amazon that cover the same topics, and crime fiction. Also, follow us on social media, because we've got a lot of videos up at the moment, and we've got a lot more coming up on various topics to do with close protection, investigations, personal security, problem solving, and life in general. So follow us along. And again, I'll do another video after this to talk about how to manage clients in situations where people are at threat, which will give you some guidance. And especially if you're under threat, if you're having problems yourself, we'll give you some guidance on how to deal with the situations. But in the meantime, be good, stay safe, stay out of trouble. And if you think you're dealing with problems, always confirm it's actually a problem and not just somebody playing games with you.